Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to go ahead and really quickly review our I can statement yesterday. If you remember, our I can statement yesterday was being able to identify or find right angles. And if you remember, an angle is where you take a ray, remember a ray, and you take a second ray. Let me go ahead and make this one. And we're at the two rays come to the points, their endpoints. That is your angle. And we talked about yesterday, a right angle is where the rays come together and form a square edge. We talked about how a couple ways to figure out if something is a right angle or not. Number one, if a little square is drawn at the angle, we know it's a right angle. This is a right angle. Something else we said is if we took an actual square and we moved it, I'm going to make another one right there, and we decided to move it, and if it fits snugly in between those two rays right there, this would be a right angle. So here's an example of what we have as a right angle. So yes, this is a right angle. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and head on to our next lesson. And here's our next lesson. I'll go ahead and put that up in just a minute. Our next lesson has to do with this word here called polygon. A polygon is a closed two-dimensional figure formed by three or more straight sides that do not cross each other. What does it actually look like, you might be asking yourselves? Well, here's what we can do. The first thing that it tells you is that it is closed, meaning that none of the sides can be open. Like, this is not a closed figure. Do you see how this is open right here? That is not a polygon. Okay? This is a closed figure. For the most part. There it is. That is a closed figure, and of course we know that's a polygon, that's a triangle. A polygon also is not allowed to have its sides crossed. This is not a polygon. Because if you notice right here, my sides are crossing. It is not a polygon because its sides cross. Some polygons that we know of are squares, rectangles, triangles, but I'm going to ask you this question.
Mrs. Dowdy, please call extension 3216. Mrs. Dowdy, call extension.
Is this a polygon? Well, something else we have to consider is that a polygon does not have curved sides. So this circle is not a polygon. You can go ahead and classify or sort or figure out polygons by using one or more of the following attributes. An attribute is a characteristic of a figure. What we're going to be looking at this year is we're going to be looking at the number of sides of a polygon and the number of angles of a polygon.
Great.
So let's look at example number one. It tells us to look at this soccer ball right here. It says the blue shape outlined in white is a polygon. Do you see the blue shape that is outlined in white? We want to describe and classify, meaning figure out what kind it is, this polygon by its attributes, or what makes up its sides and its angles. We know that this is a pentagon because a pentagon is a polygon with 5 sides and 5 angles. Let me just go ahead and count these for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides, and let me go ahead and count the angles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. There are 5 sides and 5 angles. The blue shape outlined in white has, let's put this down, 5 sides. And it also has, let's go ahead and put this other one down, you guessed it, 5 angles. Go ahead and take a few seconds and put that down. I'll go ahead and wait for you. So we know that this shape is a pentagon. Let's take a look at example number 2. It says the road sign, a very familiar looking road sign, shown is a polygon. We want to, again, describe and classify, meaning telling us what kind of a polygon it is, by its attributes, meaning let's look at its sides and let's look at its angles. An octagon is a polygon with 8 sides and 8 angles. So let's go ahead and figure out its attributes. We know that this road sign, let's count up the sides, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Let's go ahead and put an 8 in there. And go ahead and put down how many angles you think it is. While you're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you put 8 angles down? If you did, nice job. So we know it has 8 sides and 8 angles, so we know that this is an octagon because an octagon has 8 sides and 8 angles. Go ahead and turn the page over so you're on this page right here where it says Key Concept Polygons. All right? So you're going to notice in this table right here we have a table. And in this table we have our headings as the shape, the sides, the angles, and the models. The models are being what kind of shape it actually looks like. So first off we have our triangle. It has 3 sides, 3 angles, and here's our models. 1, 2, 3 sides, 1, 2, 3 models. Or not, I'm sorry, 3 angles. Now let's go to this next word. This next word's a big one. This word is called quadrilateral. Let's all say it together. Quadrilateral. A quadrilateral has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Some quadrilaterals you know about are squares and rectangles. Some quadrilaterals you might not know about are trapezoids and parallelograms. Our next polygon is called the pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 angles. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, and this big one is a big one right there, 5 angles. Our hexagon has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles. And finally, our octagon. Our octagon has 8 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. Wow. So those are the polygons that I kind of want you to know for this lesson. Now, something I haven't really done very much this year, which I'd kind of like to start doing, is let's talk about talking math. They want to know what attributes. Remember, attributes are what makes up our figure. So in this case, we're looking at the number of sides and the number of angles. Those are our attributes. There and there. We want to know what attributes do the shapes in the key concept box have in common. So let's take a look here. Let's first off look at the sides. We 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. What possibly could these all have in common? Well, if we look each of these sides is greater than a number in my head. They're all greater than what number? Think to yourself. If you said the number 2 or even 1, you would be correct. All of these numbers are greater than 2 or 1 because remember, you have to have 3 or more sides to make a polygon. All right? Let's take a look at something else. Let's look at the angles. Again, we notice we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Here's an interesting idea. Let's compare the sides to the angles. 3 equals 3, 4 equals 4, 5 equals 5, 6 equals 6, 8 equals 8. Did you notice that the sides always equal the angles in any polygon that you're creating? If you create a pentagon with 5 sides, it's always going to have 5 angles. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Also something else. What number are all of these numbers greater than? Let's go back to our sides. If you said 2 and 1, you'd be correct. 3 is greater than 2. 4 is greater than 2. 5, 6, and 8 are all greater than 2 because you cannot have a polygon with only 2 angles. Let's look what happens if you would have a polygon with only 2 angles. Okay? Here's one angle. There's my second angle. Uh-oh. What happens? This is opened up because it won't be closed up if you only have 2 angles. So finally, let's take a look at our guided practice. It tells us to describe, meaning talk about, kind of explain some things, the shape of the sign below. Here's my sign here. We need to describe the shape of it. We want to determine or figure out the number of sides and also the number of angles, then classify, meaning we're going to tell what kind of shape is this. Let me just move this up in a second. What kind of shape is this? Is it a triangle? Is it a quadrilateral? Is it a pentagon? Is it a hexagon? Or is it an octagon? That's what they mean when they want us to classify the shape. So, let's first start out with the sides. Go ahead and take a few seconds and count up the number of sides this no passing zone sign has. You said 3 sides, you're correct. Now, let's think about our angles. How many angles does it have? 3 angles. So this sign is I'll give you a second to think about that. All right, so you can see, again, what we're looking for is we're looking for 3 sides, 3 angles, and of course, if you haven't figured it out, this sign is a triangle. Okay, so that is our introduction to polygons and their attributes. Remember, attributes we're talking about are their sides and angles. That's what we're going to be focusing on in this lesson. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.